Let's get into Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
Show kicks off. Kevin versus Cody.
Man.
Out the gate.
Man. Hey.
Out the gate. KO. It's funny to piggyback off what we were talking about earlier. Looking emotionless, looking ready, like just looking locked in. Like
Yeah.
I like this Kevin Owens. I like the slightly deranged KO. That's my favorite version of KO. Little backstory is that because this Friday on SmackDown, he had the promo with Cody where he's like,
such a good man.
You think so? What?
I really,
I'm indifferent.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Because the knee thing came out the blue. Like it was like, what? It was like a
right?
Jerry Springer thing. It was like, what? I don't know. It came out the blue. It was like a random plot twist. But because I didn't take notes for SmackDown.
We didn't take notes.
Yeah. But man, I remember watching it Friday night, and I was tweeting how good it was to me. Like it felt emotional, and it felt like to me it was peak when you get babyface versus babyface, because a lot of the times, and I feel like we talked about it before since we started the show, but sometimes when you get heels versus heels or babyfaces versus babyfaces, it's kind of hard to book sometimes because it's it's two good guys versus each other. It's hard to make an interesting story, or it's two bad guys versus each other. It's hard to make an interesting story. And I feel like this story was really, especially the way that the match actually played out. I feel like the story was good. Even if it whether it continues how you asked for earlier, or whether this was just a one-off until later down the road, I think how they handled it and how they did it the last couple weeks, I think it was done. I don't want to say masterfully, because I feel like that may be too much praise, but I feel like it was done right. That promo on Friday, it got me more hyped for the match. I don't know. He's like, bro, fuck my knee, bro. Like, the real question is, after this match, are we going to be friends still? There was so many good back and forth to me.
And you are right, because let me give you credit, because it is two baby faces going against each other, right? In that promo, he was talking about his knee, I don't want to beat you with your knee looking like that, because every time I beat somebody, it's there's always a stipulation attached to, or you couldn't do it without doing this and XYZ. And that in itself is also a very theater-esque way of telling a story. It's not just good guy versus bad guy. Sometimes best friend versus best friend. And how are you going to tell the story of I don't want to do you dirty. I want us to scrap mano y mano, best of the best, or best at our best. That is a story being told. So I will give you credit for that. I'll give them credit for that too. Because when I first saw it, I was like, hey man, you trying to be WWE champion. What you talking about? Your knee. What opponent's sitting here I don't want to fight you, man. Your knee's bad. But coming back and reflecting on it now, there's a story in that. There's an emotion to be grasped out of you for that. Why does he care about his knee so much? They're friends, and he doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to do his friend dirty.
Yeah,
he talks about how everybody
he's like, look, man.
Yeah,
he's like, everyone deserved it except for Kofi.
Except for Kofi.
Okay, everyone kind of had it covered.
So he's trying to be a different person than who he was before, and also KO's characters being cognizant of that fourth wall and being they know that I turn on everybody.
Yeah,
right. I'm trying to tell you guys, everybody deserved it except for Kofi, and I'm not that guy anymore. So there is little nuances that they're telling here with this story, and you're right. So okay, so with that being said, I do now have a different appreciation for that promo. Maybe I did we just had to talk about it. We just needed to hash it out. That definitely brought a different perspective.
Yeah.
As far as the match, I like the match. I think this match was good.
I loved it. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was match of the night or match of the week or anything, but I thought this, to me, from all the people that were Cody's title defense is to me, this is Cody's best title defense. I would say AJ in France was close, but to me, this was the best title defense.
You're right.
This is the best match of his reign thus far.
Of Cody's reign. Yeah.
To me, it was a Fyre, man. The 50-50 fighting that was going on was fucking great. There was so many multiple Fyre. It was just hard to, because I watched the show late last night, and I was trying to be locked in. But there's a frog splash outside that was dope. Man,
the Rolling
Senton, the Cody cutter that Cody did, the disaster kick. there was a part in the match where you see Kevin Owens hesitate to do a chop block, and he pays for that. It's very similar a la to Mariah and Tony. And then and then later, like he does go for the knee, like, but the whole time, that whole match, he's avoiding that knee the whole match. He's working his midsection.
Yep.
And then I think it was Cole. He's like, well, Cody did have bad ribs a couple of months ago, like and like there, I don't know, there was just the nuances, the story, like I don't know, man. To me, it was a really good match. And then you tweeted it on our account, like that brainbuster was fucking heat, bro.
Fucking crazy, bro. Like, fucking nuts, yo.
He hesitates to do the apron powerbomb, and then you hear Wade. He's like, "That was it. That was the kill shot." And like Cody's like, or Kevin is like, like you could see it where he's like, "I don't want to be that guy. I could kill you right now, bro, but I don't want to.
I would fuck your whole shit up.
I want to beat you 1-on-1, fair and square, not without attacking your weaknesses. But I could end you right now." He could have did the Bane Batman break right there. He could have broke that nigga's back right there. The story, man, I don't know. To me, it was phenomenal. And I know people wanted Kevin Owens to turn, but I think it's good that he didn't.
It's very, from what I was just talking about it right now, it's also very similar to like the Tiger Driver thing, right? Where like you're trying to be a good guy and I don't want to do this. I don't want to like hurt anybody. But the difference in the way the story is being told is that it's more so about the individual and not about the move itself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that was also probably a little bit of disconnect with like Ospreay, is that like, we're not hashing on anybody, but just like the disconnect between that story is that we need to make it feel like he's trying to change as a person rather than like just not using the move at all, kind of thing.
Yeah. And the other thing also that made granted, the people still popped for the Tiger Driver 91 when it happened.
Absolutely.
The other thing that made a slight disconnect is that Ospreay started having that opinion once Daniel got hurt, but then Daniel was back on TV in 2 weeks.
Right.
So,
there was no
so it's like,
there was no payoff to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Like so. Right. So if he did that move to someone that got written off, and then they went to WWE or went to TNA or some shit, then I feel like they would have hit a little harder. But like the crowd still popped for it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But the common theme is that like just trying to draw like emotion from you not doing a move or you're not hurting your friend, or very in the same like realm of like entertainment.
Yeah.
Because in this match with Cody and KO, is that like you can see the hesitation, like you said, like even when he did the Cody cutter and his leg gave out, it's like he's trying so hard not to be like the typical just masterful or like the what they used to call him, like the opportunist. They used to call Edge it, like the
perfect opportunist,
like
or the fuck
something. But like he's not trying to take advantage of every opportunity the dirty way.
Yeah, he's attacking your weak points, attacking the parts that you know are injured. Like he essentially made his, like, it's like if you play one of the WWE games or whatever, you see that like, oh, this person's legs are dark red, but instead of attacking that, let me make your chest yellow, or I was just working the chest.
It's like, no, we're telling you what to do. You just don't want to do it to win. It's a good match, man. I think you're right. This is definitely Cody's best match out of like his title defenses. The reason that like, before we get to like my post thoughts, but there's a nitpick for me. The multiple crossroads, they have to mean something, bro. Like when you did it to Roman, it was like, okay, you needed 3 to take out the big dog. Yeah. And after they started doing a little bit more and whatnot, but like in this match, he did them a couple times. I think he did like 2 and he still kicked out of it. So it's like when you're doing like these,
continue
the trio crossroads, like this has to be that's it.
So okay.
What's the point of doing 3?
So maybe this is my nerd brain kicking in, because like in the video game, this new last 2K, like you have the super finishers, and the super finisher is the triple crossroads, or like a super RKO or something like that. With this one, what happened on the show? Yeah, Cody does 2, and then it gets interrupted. So I feel like, and then eventually he hits that 3rd. So it seems like 3 crossroads can take somebody out. It's better if they happen back to back to back to back, but it's not super crazy if it gets interrupted, but you still get that third one quickly. It's weird. I feel like there's a lot of math that needs to be done that I'm not willing to do. But I do feel what you're saying. I feel like to me the triple Rhodes still means something because that's how he beats his big heavy hitters. That's how he beat Roman. That's how he beat Brock. I think that's how he beat Solo. But usually, like, it's one or two. The triple is the super one. What happened with Kevin is that he was able to break out the first two. He broke the pattern, but that third one still hit. Man, I don't know. There's more math.
It was
a delayed third. There's more math. I'm willing. There's a lot of math in it, but
it's just the point being for me is that like when you're doing that, like that's like this has to be the end chapter because afterwards, like what's next, bro? You're doing 3 crossroads. I have a similar thing with later when we talk about Drew and Punk, but like it's like, bro, this is the end of the match. You're either doing it to wipe somebody out or you're doing it to rub their face in it. What are we doing here? Kind of thing. That was my only nitpick with the match. Other than that, like I think the match was phenomenal. I think that
Cody survived 2 stunners. We got to talk about that. He survived 2 stunners. He did. No, this was their black and gold, or dare I even say, this was their AEW match where it's like we kick it out of everything. Like you gotta kill me.
You gotta kill me.
But yeah, no, I do feel what you're saying.
But see, I don't know if like KO's finisher is the stunner, but in my head, I think his finisher is the fucking pop up. Like once KO does the pop up, I was like, okay, the match is over. I don't think he popped Cody up with it.
He tried. He tried to, and it was reversed into. I think it was reversed into a disaster kick or some shit.
The story that I think they're telling with KO is like the, where's your dog at? Like, yeah, he's not the same KO. Like he's getting soft. He's hesitant, you know, and it seems like he's battling internally on who the fuck he is right now, which is kind of like a running story, a real life story with Kevin Owens, as far as not real life, but like as far as like his stories in WWE. He's like, who are you? Like you've been helping people for so long that like we haven't found KO the individual in a really long time,
right? And like, can you still have that killer instinct without being?
Yeah, are you still that dog?
Yeah, and to me, it's like, can you still have that dog in you? Can you still have that killer instinct without being a piece of shit? Like, can you still be that kind of person without betraying your friends? Yeah. Like, yeah, can you be
without killing your friends off? Yeah, that's
you know. And I think that's another layer that adds to the layer. It's like we proved. I mean, I feel like in this match, he proves like he has it in him. Obviously, he still hesitated, but it's like, can you get to the top, such as a Cody Rhodes has? Can you do something similar to your friend that you're fighting right now without having to, do the apron power bomb, without having to attack their weaknesses? Can you make it to the top while still keeping your morals, but still have that dog in you? You can keep your morals and still have that dog in you. And I feel like he's battling like, can both of those things coexist for him?
Can they coexist? Yeah, that's true. Overall, loved it. I thought it was a great match. Man, I do want to see this. I want to see the story continue, because the thing with Cody's reign for me is that there hasn't been a meaningful like story yet. It's just been one-offs or two-offs because AJ. But like everything for me has been like, he's here, he's battling this person, then it's somebody else. This person, then somebody else. I need your WWE champion to have a legit like thread. It don't got to be bloodline, just a fucking thread or something, bro. I don't think he's had a thread yet. That's just my personal opinion. Take it how you will, but I need something.
I feel it.
Even Gunther had a thread with Randy. Like there was the shoulder coming up. Like they made something into something. Mm-hmm. Like there's a reason for this match happening. Instead of like the story being like, you're my best friend. I think you deserve it, man. You've been working hard. You know what? Come at me. You're not gonna beat me, but come at me.
Right.
I get that, but like,
and that's how it started off that basic. I feel like they did add to it, but as far as I agree with what you're saying as far as like having like a real thread, as far as like having a good story attached to.
Who was Cody's antagonist? Like during this reign as a W champion, you can always point out somebody's main antagonist through their run.
It's the bloodline.
I don't think he's had it.
But they're in the back. Like the main attack, like to answer the real question, it's The Rock. But we ain't seen him for a minute.
For a minute,
so they gotta
right?
do stuff.
So in the meantime, I need your Iron Man 1 villain. Before we get to Thanos, I need you to, where's your Whiplash? I need somebody to kind of be here to kind of like fuck you up for a little bit until we get Thanos.
You just listed villains that died in the first film, my nigga. Whiplash died.
But we need something. I need something, bro. I need a threat. I need one. Who's your side piece antagonist that you like? Yeah, you the enemy, but we got something.
It could be Shinsuke. But the question is, does the audience want to see them feud again? Because they feuded for like 2 months or 3 months or so.
They don't. He just needs he needs one. He needs somebody, bro. They don't want to see Shinsuke though. They don't.
I mean, I want to see Shinsuke.
They don't like Shinsuke like I like Shinsuke.
I want to see Shinsuke do something. But yeah, okay. So after that, we get
and maybe that's AJ. Maybe AJ will be his villain. And if you want to come back and double on that again or triple on that, I'm cool with that too. But he just needs one.
Yeah, I feel it.
So after, next up, Jade and Bianca versus Alba and Isla. My thoughts about this match is that the match didn't get its steam until the hot tag happened. I feel like the match was a little bit of the 2v1 aspect of keeping Bianca from Jade from making the tag and whatnot, and that was kind of a little cat and mousey. But once the hot tag happened, that shit picked the fuck up. Yeah. Like it was
good tag team.
It was cooking from there.
I really enjoyed this match.
Okay,
I think once we get that hot tag, man, Jade looks great. She keeps getting better and better. I feel like there's still gears that are rotating. There's still things that are that still need to click. But I feel like if you take this current Jade that we saw at Bash, with the Jade that we saw at WrestleMania, with the Jade that we saw in AEW, those are 3 different Jades. She's still getting better. The crowd's reacting to her great,
but not by much. There's not a lot of difference to me. I think that in ring wise, right? Jade's more orchestrated. She's slow. She's able to slow things down. Things are paced out very well, right? For WWE. As far as character image, it's been the same no matter what. The same way she's being shown here is the same way she was shown in AEW. The production value is way bigger in WWE. I think that and it's similar to, I was going to talk about it after this, but similar to the question that the guy asked her is that, she's about AEW. She said, oh, she's tired about AEW.
Started answering questions about.
She's tired of answering questions about AEW, which is valid. But I don't think his question was predominantly based around AEW. It's more so how are you training? How are you looking? How are you acting different? How are you moving different comparative to you were in AEW? Because as far as character wise, she's been signed since November. We're 2 months away from a year, right? Has there really been that big of a change for a year? I don't think so.
If you watch a match in AEW and you watch this match at Bash and Learn, you will see that change. And yes, the production value makes the presentation look different, but overall, presentation, it means a huge amount of deal especially when it comes to wrestling.
It does, but let's say in-ring ability in AEW wasn't the greatest, right? But presentation of the 50-0 and whatnot was a lot bigger than the tag team.
What?
I feel like let me reiterate, maybe not presentation, but being the 50-0 TNT champion or TBS champion comparative to the off-on tag team run. I think the 50-0 is bigger than the tag team run. Not saying the presentation was better in AEW, but as far as Jade's character growth and her winning matches and being seen and whatnot, the lights, there was way more matches in AEW than there were in WWE.
Yeah.
So there was a lot more film to study comparative to WWE now.
There was more matches, but she didn't grow out of those matches. That's why when they signed her in November, they didn't debut her until April.
But now she's in WWE and she's getting the development, and we still don't have the matches. We have no solo matches, right? And we're still talking about the tag team division, which is fine. I'm just saying that the growth is not as exponential as I would like it to be. That's just me personally.
Okay. Well, and that's fine. I'm still though, if you take a match from her in the other company versus just this Berlin one, because like I said, Berlin
This is great.
Berlin Jade
She was
is
fucking
Berlin Jade is
spazzing.
different from WrestleMania Jade. And I think, honestly, and even Clash of Castle, I'm like, I think there's there's 4 different Jades, like, to me, the reason I brought it up is because I see the growth. No, she still hasn't had a 10-minute single match yet, but we're going to get there. They're positioning her.
How long do you handcuff Bianca to her? Because at some point you got to let Bianca go, right? Because Bianca's the main star attraction for your big events, your big pay-per-views, right? And then I don't mean handcuff in a fucked up way. I don't mean that, but like at some point we got to let me see what you can do. What do we do here? When do you think that's happened? Do we wait another 6 months before Jade has a singles run, or like what's your thoughts on Jade getting the 1v1 push?
Honest for me personally, I'm not in a rush. I want her to personally feel comfortable in the ring, to be a ring general. She talks about her goals and aspirations. Like, her goals and aspirations is to have that singles run and is to become a legend and like fucking pass shit down and be a staple in the wrestling community as a whole. Like, that is her goal, and I think she's working to it. So I'm not personally in a rush. As far as like how long I think her and Bianca are going to be attached, it is September. Honestly, I can see it probably until Mania again. I'm not, and then maybe after Mania they'll finally be like, all right, you get like, because again, and I don't know if this sounds weird to people or not. It's hard for me to imagine them still keeping the big 3 on the same show. I think I'm pro Street Profits going back to Raw, which means Bianca would go to Raw. So I do think eventually, like maybe next draft, they'll finally split up, which that might not happen until Mania.
And that's a logical timeline. Yeah, I think so.
So
that's logical.
I would say, yeah, maybe another 8 months or so, they'll probably still be attached, and then we'll get that singles run. But there's a reason why they're not just like super gun ho. Like, they're going to put the rocket on her. They had the rocket's already on her. They just haven't added the fuel to it yet. They want to make sure she's ready, and she's getting ready.
But my thing is that, like, we see, and we'll get back to the match, but like they put the rock on Ethan Page immediately.
It's also NXT. Like, you could argue that it's NXT. Like you know,
he came in NXT champion. So like, there's just I want to know what the difference is of how they see the Rocket versus not the Rocket.
I think it's experience. And I get it. Like, you know, he had more experience. Like Jade's first, like, I think she did some indie stuff a little bit, but like AEW was her first real experience. With Ethan, he was in TNA, he was in other shit before, or you know, like. But and also, yeah, I feel like there's also just differences between individuals. Like, we'll see how they treat Vecchir and Julia and Delta, and I'm sure they're going to treat them fucking great. You know, they treated Roxanne really good when she showed up, and she's only 22, but she also had experience in TNA and whatnot. So I feel like it depends.
I'm trying to think, like,
on experience. Like I feel like it depends on. Just like any job, it depends on your prior experience. I'm not going to give you a supervisor job if you never supervised a team before. So work,
and yeah, you could be right, because like the way I'm thinking about it is that like the only other person I can, off the top of my head, I can think about who skipped NXT was Dom, and Dom's first run he was in tags. He was heavily protected by, you know, the vets. He was protected by Ray and Edge. You know, like
Seth, Brock Lesnar. Like his first in-ring anything was against Brock, of all people. Like, his first experience was getting F5. And then fast forward, Seth Rollins beat the dog shit out of him with some kendo sticks.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. And
okay. So maybe she's just taking the Dom route. That makes a little bit more sense to me. Is that she's on the Dom plan. We're gonna put you with a vet, lock you in for a long period of time, and then we're going to let you go.
Yeah, and
that makes sense.
You know, she's been getting the hot tags a lot. Like, she is the hot tag person, and that's because, one, she's kind of an attraction because of, you know, how much they presented her as a big signing, and also it allows the audience, it allows us to see the difference in her work. Like this hot tag versus the hot tag in Clash of Castle when she slipped on the rope or whatever. Everyone was talking about how she slipped on the rope. This hot tag, no quote unquote botches, no slip ups, nothing. And it was fucking fire. And now everyone's talking about that hot tag and how that hot tag looked. You know, so
hot tag was great. She picked up the momentum for sure. They do the wheelbarrow finish to get the win, and the first thing I seen after the match, I'm just going through online and whatnot, is people hot and cold on Alba and Isla and like their run, right? I think it was only, they said like 70 days or something like that. Like it was
70 or 78. It was in 70 because they won them at Clash.
Yeah, and then but within that, it's like we didn't, once again, no major threads for sure, no development of them as like individual as a tag and whatnot. And my issue with it was W has to figure out a way to, like, you know, giving people these, oh, you're in your hometown run, here's the titles, and then not having anything for them to actually do afterwards, you know?
Okay, well, all right. So so when they first won the tag team titles, you said something very similar about that, like the following Raw or whatever. And you were correct. And I'm not saying you're not correct anymore. I just feel like the last couple Raws and even a couple SmackDowns, like they were on both shows. And I think there was even a show they were on NXT. So they were working and like they were being presented. They had backstage, or they had promos and whatnot, not like in-ring promos, but they had video package promos, like talking shit that, like, maybe it was a little too late, but when they did get in this 78-day reign, the first 2 weeks was a little blah, but then they did try. Like they put them on TV. They had them in the feud with the stud line and Damage Control. They've been active, is what I'm trying to say. Like they weren't just in catering this whole time and doing a couple promos here and there. They were active and presented well. Personally, I'm not going to. Title reign aside, I like the Unholy Union, and I think, again, I liked every single match in this entire show. So just to be transparent, this women's tag to me was really good. I think all four women were working their asses off, and Isla and Alba, they're going to get another run. And I feel like they were presented in this particular match. They presented well. And even in the match that they won a couple of weeks ago when they won the triple threat, I think they were presented well, and they were presented as threats. And they were beating the dog shit out of Bianca the first 10 minutes. They were working a former champion. I
think just the focus element again.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we're putting you against, you know, Zoe, Shayna, and then we're gonna put you against Bianca, Jade, and there's Damage Control. But it's like the focus element of, like, they're the champions, they're the big dogs, they're like the hot commodity. Let's have them focus on like this feud with Jade and Bianca, and then, you know, we can go into Damage Control. It's just it was a lot of like chaoticness with the way like their stories are being told.
Yeah, the women's division.
Even like last week, we got or maybe the week before, Blair joins. So where I was watching this match, I was like, okay, maybe they retain because Blair comes out and interferes and whatnot.
Yeah.
That extends their run a little bit, you know, and they can continue being Unholy Union and building up their stock. It was just interesting because like this, we all know we love Jade and Bianca, right? But does Jade and Bianca need the belts to be how great they are? Fuck no.
No.
And the thing with the recent our recent development of like, hey, these titles are used to elevate, you know, certain talents and whatnot, to at least catapult you to like a different level that you weren't before. And I don't know if like that did it all the way yet for them, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I can agree with that. I feel like it did it somewhat. I don't know. I like Alba and Isla. So
they're dope.
And I like them. I mean, I've always liked them, but I feel like I like them way more than I did 2 months ago when they weren't doing shit. And I feel like a part of that, and we talked about this multiple times, is fleshing out this women's tag team division, and actually making teams and storylines that don't just involve, all right, it's time for a title match. Now we're in a storyline where it's like, you can have feuds that don't involve the title and shit. Which that's a problem with every title division. Like sometimes you need feuds. Like we need a like Carmelo and Andrade. That's a mid card feud that doesn't involve a title, and it's a rivalry that
and they've been smoking that.
They've been hooping, and everyone's fucking with it, and it doesn't involve a title at all. And we need that balance, and this is in every company. We just need that balance where we get meaningful storylines to people who aren't, chasing titles. Chad and Wyatt 6, meaningful storyline, has no titles involved. Like we need more, and that's always been a problem with the women's tag division because there's not. It's hard to call it a division when there's not that many women tag teams in there, and then most of the time it's just like makeshift.
There you go. They're makeshift single wrestlers into like tags, and I just need a little bit of that focus that we do have on the men's side, of them not having titles in the stories to make them great, to be in the women's side. That's the only thing that's missing. It's like I say, it's just the focus element. It's just the women are doing the best with what they have for sure, but it's just let's just take a little bit of like this Andrade shit. Maybe we can like throw that into the Unholy reunion and that shit. But it's also a lot of like character work that has to be done too, to where with Pure Fusion Collective, I don't know about you, but it's not hidden for me.
I hate that fucking name so much. It doesn't make any shit. It sounds like a fucking
like
restaurant. I can't say. It sounds like a fucking Asian restaurant that makes burritos. So you get teriyaki burritos. It's like it's fusion.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. But you're right. But it's like there's no Jade and Bianca are the biggest characters in that division, right?
Which is why I feel like they have the titles back on them.
Yeah. And that's not the other people's fault under them either, No. Like I said, I do like Unholy Reunion. I do think that the addition to Blair makes the group even better.
If it's an official,
Damage Control has been trying to find Damage Control has been trying to find their identity ever since you lost Asuka, which is a big piece, and you also lost Bayley, which is a big piece too. And now you have Coda. So now it's just Kyrie and Io, and we now fall into like the promo thing, right? Where the English is not their first language and whatnot, and the connecting to the fans that way may be a little bit different as well. The thing is with them though, is that their talent is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, the fans they can fucking wrestle. The fans have no problem connecting with Io and Kyrie, and not even on no freak man shit. You can speak Japanese to me all show. I don't give a fuck. That's Kyrie and Io.
But it's just it's important when WWE is so promo based, right. Like they're very talking to the fans base. That can definitely be a hindrance of sorts. It's just I see it. They just need a little bit of injection, a little bit more fine tuning over there, and then everything will be fine. Otherwise, though, to get back to the original topic, this match was good. I did like this match. Like I said, ever since the hot tag happened, it went up from there, and that was the most jam-packed action that we've seen on the women's side or women's tag in a long time.
Yeah, it was a really solid match. Highly.
It was great.
After that, though, we get the strap match. We get Drew versus Punk, and before the match even starts, Punk attacks Drew. Beats the hell out of him for a while. Before the before the bell rings and they get both arms in the strap. This match was everything that it needed to be, in my eyes. It was violent. It was brutal.
Yep.
We even got some blood. We got a crazy pop with the bracelet at some point.
Fuck that bracelet, but yeah, we did.
And then we got, that bracelet got a bigger pop than the Tiger Driver, but I'm gonna keep it cute.
It's cool, it's all right.
I'm gonna keep it cute.
That man licked the bracelet out of that man's drawer.
Hey,
cool.
No, that is wild.
That nigga put the lips to it. Hey,
you got the nigga, what? Scottish ball musk. I don't remember that scent. You know what I'm saying? That's a flavor I don't want to taste, but that's just me.
That was wild. It was wild.
And I didn't even know it. I didn't even think about it until I saw it on Twitter. Like when everyone's like, "Look at this goon! Look at him gooning around here! Look at this freak man!" I was like, "Okay, yo."
Hey, you know what the funny part is? Watch Drew turn that bitch into a promo of some sort, man. He about to flip that into something next week.
Yeah, you like
I
that
don't know
taste?
how he gonna do it.
Taste of my balls.
He's gonna say something crazy, yo. Oh, it was a good match. This was a different strap match than what I was used to before, because my last interpretation didn't have the actual lights in the corners, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that's the first
Um,
ever. And I might be tripping, but I think that's the first time I've ever seen lights in the corner for a strap match.
I thought there was a different. I think this is the first time I've seen lights, but I thought they did it with flags too before. I think like JBL had a strap match, or somebody had a strap match back in the day, and it was like that as well. But like the ones I've seen, it's just been two people locked up and they just beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah,
like,
this is an old school tradition. Yeah, no, this version was the damn, can't say that word. Territory days, like the old shit. Like,
yeah, this is the old one. This is where you ring the bell in the corner. This is one of those kind of things.
And originally when I first heard it, I was like, eh. And then when I heard Punk's promo, I was like more on board. But with the lights and the presentation and the way this match was fire too. I mean, I think the lights really helped. Just for a visual thing, even similar with the flags, but I think the lights help because like they even made us, or I might be tripping, but I feel like it made a sound when they pressed it. But yeah, man, visually, I feel like as an audience, it helped.
You knew who was
helped you keep track
touching
of it, because like if there was no light, then it's like like if there was no light, you have the moment where Drew touches all three. And then there was a bunch of shit that was still going. Like then there was like 5 minutes before they got reset, and then I feel like it would have been hard to keep up with that due to the action inside the ring, where it's like, oh wait, shit, didn't Drew touch three? Oh no, I thought it was two. Like I feel like the lights really helped with that.
Yeah, and it was also kind of cool because like you had the spot where like Drew was touching the lights, but he had Punk on his shoulders, and every time he would touch one, Punk would touch one too. So that was a really cool way of like storytelling and stuff like that as well. And without the lights, you never would have saw that.
Yeah, exactly. Which apparently, I know he's not. Apparently, that was an old school storyline or booking thing that they did from a very long time ago. I know a lot of people don't like him. I don't. I'm indifferent. Jim Cornette talk about a storyline of a strap match being booked, and he told a story about, and it was exactly the way that it played out, where the heel was carrying the babyface, and then as he was touching it, the babyface was also touching the thing. So that wasn't the ending to the match. So that was cool that they paid out. Like, and we know, like,
they paid homage.
Punk is going to pay some homage, like.
Yeah,
like whether it was the gear he's wearing, whether it was some Bret Hart shit that he did with FTR. He gonna pay some homage. The Bret Hart 1, 2, 3 kid that he did with Darby Allin, like he's a homage. Like,
yeah, he is. He loves the game.
He loves the game. We got blood also, but
the match was great. We had a fucking bulldog into a fucking casual dropping a motherfucker through the table.
Yeah,
like. He takes his bulldog. And he's like, fuck! I'm just gonna drop your ass. He just dropped him. I was like, that was effective.
Yeah,
it wasn't fancy. It wasn't flashy. That was just like.
There's a part where like Drew's touching the corners. Like Punk slips out the ring and then like fucking pulls him, and then like Drew runs into the fucking chair that was in the ring.
Yeah, they set up. Yeah,
this was, to me, it was very well paced, very well booked. You said there was something that you wanted to talk about that was similar to another match, and I'm assuming it's the amount of GTSs that we saw.
The amount of fucking GTSs, bro. And I'm like, I felt, similar to the way that you felt with when Punk got on Seth's ass, right? And Seth didn't do anything, right? I'm like, Drew, you gonna let this man hit you with 4 GTSs? Like, you ain't about to.
He was asleep.
Claymore kick out of one of these. Bro, he was. Sleep. That nigga was dead.
Was like, go to sleep.
Body was limp, bro. I was like, you ain't gonna do nothing. Fight back. I'm sitting there like motherfucking Rocky, throw in the towel. This nigga took 4 fucking GTSs.
Hey man, and I didn't even know Punk had it was. Like that. I'm gonna be real.
Neither did I. I was like, this nigga put a. To be honest, like Punk's physical form is like, he looks way better than he did at SummerSlam. Like, but like it was like, damn, like this nigga did 4 GTSs. Like, all right, I gotta give him some credit. Like he he is keeping up. Like he don't look as gassed. Like he is definitely like trying to perform. I don't like his hairstyle, but like it just make him look old. But that's just you. He is, bro. He's like fucking 40 something years old. Like let this man live. That was my only issue was like the 4 GTS. He actually did get hit with like 3 Claymores before that, so I guess it's like you had to go one up.
And
so
he did one. The reason
sense.
I popped for it was because he did one per corner. Like once he did the 3,
that's true.
And I was like, oh, he's gonna do another, and I popped for that 4th. I was like, yeah, get it. Make sure you get that win, old man. To be like,
you're right.
But at the same time, I can hear because it was. I could hear the argument was like, similar to when I was like, oh, Swerve just eating the Psycho D. I could hear the argument was like, did we really need 4 GTSs?
4 of these motherfuckers?
But then again, we got 7 tsunamis
one for each corner.
The other week. So.
No, that nigga's different. That's a different game. No. We got 7 tsunamis and that nigga fucking tsunamis nigga off of the cliff into the car this week or last week. Was it?
Yeah.
Like that Bronson Reed, leave him the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who y'all trying to play with. I know Miz is like, I'm gonna go avenge my friend.
No,
don't. All right, it don't end well for you.
I'm good. I would have been like, was that my friend? Really though?
I'd have like, oh, the car. I would have looked completely over my friend. I don't want no issues with this.
Yeah.
So far, like it was a good match. I did enjoy this match. Very fucking entertaining. Remember, I'm grading WWE stuff based off the level of entertainment factor. And this one had both entertainment and wrestling in it as well. And I think this was a good match. It's not my favorite match of the night, but it's definitely number 2. So like this was really fucking good.
Yeah.
We get Terror Twins versus Liv and Dom. My main note for this is that they was fucking them up, bro.
Man.
Like you ever watch like, or you ever play like a wrestling game, you play any kind of game where you choose the 2 weakest characters versus the 2 strongest characters? That's exactly what the fuck this shit looked like. They was on they ass this entire fucking match.
They were. I mean, like, there was moments where Dom and Liv they like Liv pulled out some. Liv was in the lab. She pulled out a different move. There were some moments. There were some moments where Liv and Dom was they was getting made.
Mm-hmm. It didn't matter though. That shit didn't matter at all.
No,
that shit didn't. It looked nice. It was cool. I was like, damn, Liv, I saw that little flip you did. You watching Joshi? All right, I'll see it.
Yeah.
And then that nigga Dom over there trying to give out hugs and shit. Like, it's okay, hug me. Hug that nigga into a fucking leg lock, nigga. Yeah. Like, what the hell are we talking about?
I didn't see too many
callback.
Yeah, I love the callback, and I didn't see too many people talk about it. But yeah, the callback, like that was the same choke that got him in love in the first place. You know,
that got him in.
You know, I'm surprised he didn't snap out.
Take you out.
Nigga. I would have been like, "You right, Bobby? I was wilding."
My fault. My fault.
Who is this bitch? I don't even know who lived it.
Like I don't really like her like that.
Like,
it's crazy.
And also shout out to the Star Wars Outlaw promo that was on the side of the ring.
I did see that. It was definitely there.
I got the game. Haven't played it yet because I'm still playing Black Myth, but I will be picking it up when I'm done with Black Myth from Con. This is a random promo I just didn't expect. Similar to like when we first saw the Gin and Juice, or I remember when they did Wingstop for the first time, which I had Wingstop last night. Oh. You know, I had to provide for the. You know.
And that brings up my point with like LED promos. Like I'm cool with them being on like the like ringside, not ringside, but not on the apron. I like them on the borders of like the audience or whatnot, or barricades.
Yeah,
But like I love the classic look of the apron in Berlin. Like something about that just felt really fucking like old school to me, and I love that. Mm-hmm. Just it hit with me when I was watching the Kevin Cody match, and also hit me when I was watching the Randy like Gunther match. It just felt like legacy. It felt the aesthetic just felt different without the LED boards around, and plus the smaller arena also made it feel more of like a legacy kind of match too. It's very historic feeling to me, to where like I would be surprised if somebody took any match from that night and kind of put like the old retro like filter over it. It would feel the exact same.
Yeah, I see what you said. Yeah, felt like an old Raw, like a. Before they got the real money, you know, it was like
very golden age, very leg drop and elbow drops. So that kind of fucking wrestling. The Liv Dom match was great. I loved like the angle of him getting choked out in the corner.
Yeah, the doubles razor edge spot.
The double razor edge, bro, was fucking lit. Like, come on, bro, that shit was fucking hard. I did also make a note that Liv almost killed herself doing a fucking dive out the ring.
Oh, yeah.
But other than that, like it was good. I don't know
Really?
if this is.
Oh
It's not the end of their feud.
no, it's not the
I'm
end.
assuming bad blood.
Well, I think we're going to get a title match on a Monday. We might get
Mm-hmm.
okay. So yeah, because Rhea pins Liv, and obviously we know how Rhea pins people. It looked very nice. Um, so I think that's going to set up a title match, and then obviously Liv is going to retain, and I think that will eventually set up Bad Blood, but I'm not sure. So,
Would you like Liv to retain? Do you like?
uh,
I want to see more of Liv's run as a champion that's not tied to this particular angle, but I get it too because I was talking about it and I was like, this run with Liv has made her more popping. Like she's very much over than what she was
oh
before,
yeah, this is the most over she's
because
ever been.
of like the love angle and whatnot. Like
Yeah,
ever since the Dom turn and all this, like she has been one of the key staples in WWE's women division, and that's just without the women's title being a thing, you know.
yeah.
It's not like she had great women's title championship matches or anything like that, anything historic. But as far as like her entertainment level, it's through the roof. It's the highest it's ever been for Liv.
Yeah, to answer the question, no, I don't think Rhea should get that title back anytime soon. And the
Okay.
reason why is one, I mean, she had the title for a while, and because of that, she beat pretty much everybody. So if she gets it back, even though she's a babyface, she's pretty much again beaten everyone on that roster, whether
Right.
heel or face. So I think having her not get it would be better. But then again, it's like, what do you
Yeah.
do with her until then? Which that's not our job to figure out. But I would
Nope.
say, yeah, I don't think she should get the title back from Rhea. Only because I
And
don't know, like, there's no other competition for her. I mean, you can run shit back, obviously. It's wrestling. Anything is going to be ran back at some point. But, yeah, no, I don't. I think they should hold off on it until we get a draft, or maybe she wins the Rumble, because I don't think. Did Rhea win the Rumble? I think Rhea won a Rumble, didn't she? Yeah, I think she won the Rumble to fight Charlotte, right? Or am I tripping? Huh.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
I do know. While I look this up, I do know that like if Rhea doesn't win and is Liv, I would like them to run the Zelina Liv.
Oh, I mean,
There's a lot. There's some meat on the bone there. There's still some story that can be told.
yeah, especially just based off their Twitter.
Like maybe that's it too. Maybe that's like them keeping their feud hot, making us pay attention to it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I would definitely like to see Zelina get an actual fucking shot at the women's title and a push behind it. Maybe some wins that we can get under her belt. I know we were talking about it before, to where she didn't have wins that qualified her for the women's fucking title shot, but maybe we can do that properly this time around.
Honestly,
and then Rhea did win in 2023.
Okay, I wasn't tripping. The way I do it, well, yeah, that's right, because that's how she challenged Charlotte. Man, I don't know how healthy she is, but honestly, I'd bring Raquel into the Judgment Day, and then make Raquel Liv's heater, and then that way Judgment Day has muscle again. They have another version of Rhea, because Raquel can pick up the men and beat up men too, just like how Rhea did. And then it keeps Rhea away from Liv. I don't know.
It keeps Rhea away from Liv. It also keeps like Raquel in something, and not necessarily like you don't necessarily have to commit to a story while we kind of monitor the situation and whatnot.
Yeah, she doesn't have to she doesn't have to work every week. Like she could just be in the background.
Yeah,
or some shit.
I like that. I think that'd be really dope. I think that's the dope.
Because
main event
real quick, because we talked about it. Damian and Rhea, granted, they are the faces in this situation, and they keep saying like, "Oh, we weren't the ones that did anything wrong." Again, and you and I talked about it. They are very much still the heel. Like they're not heels, but they have to do they have to do what Roman is going to have to do, or what Jade did. Like you got to build your faith back up with the rest of the baby faces, because you guys were terrorizing people for
I've been terrorizing
for 3 years,
fucking people up.
Yeah. So
nobody trusts you.
Yeah. So like Raquel and Rhea, they still have unfinished business technically.
True.
So that's why I pitched that particular thing. But yeah.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Main event: Randy Orton, Gunther. The 8K camera came back for the big dogs.
Man,
Randy's entrance looked fucking crazy. That shit was fucking lit.
Randy's entrance was amazing. So two things about Randy's entrance. One, and it might be a recency bias, because the Dark Knight turns was just on the other night, and it reminded me of the scene when right before Batman fights Bane. He's in the tunnel, and they're shooting, and all you see is like flashes of him dodging in the dark.
No, yeah,
Shit out of people. It just get. But DT, our resident third unofficial host that never shows up, he wrote this thing, and I'm just gonna read it word for word because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to quote him or if I was supposed to make my own analysis of it. But he's like, "Can you add that presentation means everything? Yes, Randy has history of being legit championship threat, but just 4 to 6 weeks ago, he went from being a side character in Cody's story, which they'll get back to, but they were able to make him look and feel like a legitimate threat to Gunther's reign by just presenting him as a strong foe. His entrance made me feel like the Viper is back." End quote. And based off of all the reactions online, like that entrance, people were fucking with it. And I mean, he said
the entrance was
basic. It was, I mean, and I don't mean basic in a bad term. Like, I mean, there was some, like, we got the 8K, there was some flash photography, and you know, but then like the crowd, which we didn't talk about the crowd at all tonight. This crowd was amazing.
No, crowd was great.
Again, international shows are fire.
You know, here's my thing. I came to a conclusion that international fans, the reason why I like them so much, and this goes for both promotions, is that they're fans of wrestling, bro. Like they just love. I don't feel the tribalistic element when I'm watching European crowds because they're just so locked in to be there. Like they're like, fuck what everybody else is talking about. I'm happy to be here in the building, you know, chanting and whatnot. And they create their own, like, funny. They create their own wave, literally. But like they're just so like engaging, man. Like they're really, really fucking good. This crowd was great. France crowd was great. All In's crowd was fucking great. And the common denominator, Puerto Rico, like the common denominator is that they're just fans overseas. I think that U.S. fans are just spoiled a little bit. I think you take it for granted, and that's clearly being shown when like they take these, you know, these trips to other places and they go fucking crazy. And then what's going to happen is that they're going to go to an American show and they're going to try to replicate it, and you can't because y'all niggas not in unison as these motherfuckers was over here. Like,
bro, people can't
can't get no wave popping off in the States. It's not going to happen.
Nah, bro.
Niggas eating popcorn and hot dogs and shit. Like, too concerned, bro.
Let's not down talk a good glizzy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good glizzy.
Oh, I forgot. My bad. I forgot I was talking to Professor X of the hot dogs over here.
Hey, man. To me, my glizzies.
To me, my glizzies. No, that's great. That's fucking funny. That's good, bro. That's fucking good.
I'm going to have to put that on the shirt.
That needs to be copyrighted.
But yeah, the match was good. And Randy said it the other day, like, and shout out to France, because people were not singing this nigga song ever, and then France changed the game, and now even American crowds, like, we're singing, like, they're singing a song.
Singing songs, bro. Act like you happy to be here. Let's do this shit.
Voices, and you can see Randy's, like, it's such a feel good moment, like when you know that the wrestlers that you're watching, like, even though they're hiding it, like, you could tell they're fucking happy. Like when Ludwig, like,
you can't,
Ludwig during SmackDown, like when, you know, like LA Knight was reacting to it. He's like, you hear that shit?
Yes,
and Ludwig
bro.
was just like shrugged it off, but you knew, like, he wanted to smile. He was like, as soon as he went behind that curtain, he was grinning ear to ear, like,
he was grinning.
Like,
it was
even Gunther gave a small smirk. It was the smallest smirk.
You can see Gunther smirking. You can see him smirking in the corner. It's just like Daniel Kinney, when Kenny's trying to lock in and he's mouthing, "I don't give a fuck," because he hears him going fucking crazy. Yeah. But like, I love the fact when you can get the crowd to affect you in the ring, and you're trying so hard to stay in character, you're trying so hard to thug it out, and you can't, bro. You can't. We see it with also, I think it was Sasha Bianca. We're like, they're like locked in, and like the crowd is like going fucking nuts, and you get emotional about it. That's the dopest shit ever, bro. Is like when you feel like, fuck, they broke through the wall. Yeah. I gotta like acknowledge him, bro. I gotta acknowledge.
To the point where even Randy did the wave, And this was like
he did the
this
wave.
was 5 minutes after they already like locked up and did headlocks
Yeah,
and chin locks and shit. Like they already started fighting, and then there was another breathing point, and then like the crowd's doing the wave, which I haven't seen the wrestling crowd do a wave in a minute. Maybe I'm just tripping.
The wave and
it was,
bro.
it was it.
I want to. I know somebody got the camera angles. I need WWE to drop the footage of them in the ring and the crowd doing the wave.
Yeah.
Because the only reason Randy did it is because he's like, oh, they're actually doing a fucking wave. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't been in an arena or in a ring where somebody's doing a wave, bro. Like, that's how tuned in they are.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Yeah, European crowds got it.
Yeah.
Like, they make the show so much more enjoyable, man.
Yeah. And the singing was. I haven't heard someone talk shit about singing in a while, so that's what's up. So either you guys didn't watch the show or you just jumped on board with it because singing was fine to me. This Berlin crowd was great, man. It was great.
Great. Fucking great, bro.
Back to
the match, getting back to the match and the other half of the shit, we're just on the fucking entrances here.
Yeah.
Ludwig does Gunther's entrance.
Man, pops out the camera out of nowhere. You just see the hand and
out of nowhere.
The finger.
The hand, like, come on.
Give
me the mic. Let me handle this. These are my people. I loved it, bro.
Gentlemen.
Fucking popping in there, bro.
Hey, bro.
Fucking popping in there.
Love Ludwig, man.
Yeah, it was great fucking match, bro. It's just graps. It was really fucking physical.
Man.
A lot of the shit I didn't like the fact that Gunther was playing from behind. Because it made him look like the babyface in this when Gunther was actually the fucking heel, and also like coming off of his match against Priest, he was very much like in his bag.
Yeah.
That was the only little thing that I was slightly irritated with, but other than that, like, it was still a great fucking match.
The only reason he was still working as a heel, and Gunther and Randy was still working as a face. I feel like the only reason he was slightly playing behind is because that's Randy Orton. He's was it 14-time champion or whatever? Like, it's Randy Orton. But I mean, presentation like it was. What did I write? I mean, look, I did it like. It was a good ass fucking match. Like, I'll just keep it. But like Gunther, like, I mean, even the crowd. Like, there was moments where the crowd, I mean, they were 50-50, but there was moments where it's like they were clearly still cheering Randy. Like, people, like, granted that this wasn't his home territory or whatever. This wasn't the home court. It's Randy Orton. Like, the crowd was still like super fucking with
that
him.
nigga has
home
court advantage no matter where he goes.
Yeah, well, apparently he's like 80% German. That he just found out.
I saw that. I saw the clip. Like, I think they were like, Gunther was like, "What the fuck?" But that's fucking yeah. The match is good. There's a dope like steel step spot where like he's climbing up the steel steps and drops Gunther on the side of the table. Yeah. Like, the
ref was very lenient. Little Nate was very lenient.
The countouts, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's with everybody. It's a
championship match. It's a championship match.
Yeah, like, we're not doing countouts. If you ever count out somebody in WWE or any other promotion, AEW, I don't give a fuck. Like, no, we're not doing countouts, bro.
No, it's similar to regular season versus playoffs. You know, like, no, this is playoffs.
Yeah.
That's in regular season. That's a foul. But no, this is playoffs.
You can call that shit in NXT and ROHs and shit like that, but you better not call no goddamn ring out in the pros up here. Fuck no. The finish of the match is what I really enjoyed, right? Because I picked it up when he first put Randy in the sleeper. I was like, oh, he's going to constrict the Viper. What does snakes do? They choke motherfuckers out. He's like, no, I'm going to choke you out. I'm going to constrict you. And the whole time I'm watching, I was like, oh, this is fucking dope. Like, it's just I don't know how to say it, but it's like the idea of taking the persona of the wrestler and I'm going to finish you like your animal finishes somebody else. Like, I'm going to choke you out. Like, that's fine, bro. I loved it. Granted, like, Gunther he's the man of fucking 600 fucking finishers, so he could have finished the match in any fucking way possible.
He tried the power bomb, but the power bomb didn't work. And I mean, the first time he beat Randy, as we know, I mean, it was a roll up for the most part, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, well,
and I didn't like the roll up either. But that ain't gonna work. And so the powerbomb didn't work. No. You ain't gonna win off of just a regular chop. Randy's 260 now or 240 or whatever the fuck he is. That nigga did chop the sweat off that man's back though.
Oh, yeah.
That was a brutal ass fucking chop.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, oh fuck, nigga, like,
shit. Also,
you gonna listen to me
real quick? Fucking Gunther kicked out of an RKO. Also, like,
he did.
I was like, oh, Randy likes this guy. Randy likes this guy because he ain't letting no random nigga do that. You gonna kick out the three dangerous letters of all wrestling?
Nah, yeah, for sure. This is it. Yeah, I loved it, bro. The sleeper element was fucking dope. I love this fucking match. It's on my match of the year list. I think this is the best match of the night, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's good.
I didn't mention it. Honestly, I think the strap match should be in the category as a candidate.
Of match of the year? I'll put on the list.
I really fucked with that match. I really enjoyed the storytelling.
We can put it on the list.
But this match, this match was fucking great. And the way that it ends, like they end in a handshake, like it's someone was like passing
no turn, no bullshit.
Someone was like, "Oh, it's the passing of the torch." Like Randy literally just said he signed for 5 more years, so I don't know if he's passing any torch.
This nigga signed to 2029. I was like, "Oh shit, all right, bro."
But it's definitely a sign of like, it's the old football commercial where homie hands him the jersey. Mean Gene Green. Am I tripping? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The black dude, he hands a little kid a football jersey as they in the tunnel. And honestly, it might have came out before we were born, but I know of it. Anyway, it's not a passing of the torch. It's more of like you got it, big dog. Like you could run.
Yeah, you got it. You
are a main eventer. Like you proved. Like not only does having the title proved it, but like you had a great ass match.
You beat twice. Yeah. You've beat the Viper twice.
Yes.
In a year.
And this one was more definitive. Like this one was actually definitive.
Yes.
No shenanigans, nothing.
Yeah, I loved it, bro. I think this is great. I think it's a great first defense for Gunther. I'm just curious on who's next. Who do you line up next? Who gets the next push?
I don't know. Oh, another thing that I noticed during the before the match started was Gunther's chest. That shit was already like red and beaten up.
Yeah, before he was already red, bro. Like it was like, what the fuck were you doing?
Well, he fought Ilya on the 30th. And I was like, that was Ilya. I was like, that's why that shit. I was like, I was like, yeah. And I was like, I saw
the
that
dark match. Yeah,
I was like,
which y'all motherfuckers is pussy made for that shit too. Don't be throwing no Ilya and no Gunther on no dark match. I see you niggas, bro. I'm calling y'all motherfuckers out. Fuck all that, bro. Put that shit on TV.
Yeah, bro.
Now I gotta sit here. I told in the group chat, I gotta sit here and wait until Money in the Bank 30-32 just to see these motherfuckers go off, bro. Don't do that shit to me, bro. I was so tight. They said for a dark match for the free before the niggas ain't even sat down yet, bro. Nah, I was tight, bro.
It's because dark matches are canon.
I know what the next feud is. That better be the next feud. I know what the next feud is. I'm gonna go down to Connecticut. I'm gonna have some words with some people. All jokes aside, great fucking pay-per-view or PLE. I did really like it. I got this one as a 4. Solid 4 out of 5 for me.
Oh wait, okay. Well, you ranked AEW out of 10. No, it's fine. No, you're okay. You're, like scoring wise, you're giving it damn near the same grade. It's just one you gave out of 10, the other one you gave out of 5. I just think it's
5. You're right. And AEW might be a little bit lighter. It might be 7.5. It's definitely. I want to give it an 8, but it's probably somewhere around the 7.5. This is definitely a 4 out of 5. Fuck. 3.5, 4.
Okay.
Final answer. That's it. I did like it. I do like the smaller show count or smaller match count. The stories here were meaningful. It was very entertaining. I didn't have any issues with any of the matches that were shown here. I just necessarily wasn't blown out the water. It wasn't like no mania shit to where like, oh my god, this is the craziest hype shit ever. Yeah. But it was still a good show nevertheless. And I think that's where my 5s are reserved for when like that crazy cinematic theatrical shit happens, and then you're gonna get a 5 for me. Like if we get fucking Bad Blood and Jade, Jimmy, and Roman all fucking team up like the fucking Avengers, you'll probably get the first 5.
Word, I feel it. This Bash is easily one of my favorite pay-per-views this year. And if you don't equate like a Mania, like if we're talking about the five match formula matches, as far as like Backlash and Saudi and Clash of the Castle, I think Bash
King of the Ring was great.
King of the Ring was good. I think Bash beats all of them thus far, and they were all good. Yeah, no, I just really I really fucked with every single match on this card, and every single match to me had a story to something to explain, or something that they had a story to tell. They all had they all got time. I thought it was a good show, and All In was a good show too.
Next, and
All In.
One thing before we get out, to piggyback, All In was great. I highly love that one. That one's has a lot of replay value. Actually, they both do. Only nitpick for the WWE shows: tag team belts. Get them on the PLEs. We need a tag team championship defense from the men's side on the PLEs. We have 2 fucking different teams here. I don't give a fuck which one you pull. Somebody got to defend some shit in like these pay-per-views. Like, give them a shot to like show the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
it. They need to flush out both those divisions because Raw has like no tag teams, or for the most part, they gotta flush that shit out. Who the fuck is Judgement?
Would you put Lucha Bros like? Would you have them skip NXT if Lucha does sign with WWE? Do you have them skip NXT?
No, not for me. No, I think work NXT at least a month.
I was watching when we was looking at the Liv match or Liv Dom match. I was like, who would be a great mouthpiece for Lucha Bros? Fucking Dom.
Oh.
Like, you got Dom with the Lucha Bros. I think you got some shit there.
I think
that's fucking dangerous.
I think Penta in Judgment Day would be heat, just aesthetically, aesthetic wise.
Oh.
I feel that would be heat.
Don't.
But like they're a package.
No, don't give me.
They're a package deal. So.
Yeah, that's true. You don't get one without the other. Once again, thank you to everybody who's listening, from all avenues, like we said before, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, the people who just be talking to me. The people who approach me about the fucking podcast is also fucking funny too. I didn't even know people would listen. I had people at my job like, yo, bro, what's the next episode? I was like, oh shit.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Y'all niggas are listening. So yeah, it's shout out to everybody who tunes in, man. We can't wait to give y'all more wrestling, more grabs. But we're gonna get out of here. We will catch you guys in the next one. It's been real. Peace out.
Too sweet.